Hello, my soul family. How are you all? Hope you are doing great, happy, and healthy. So, before getting into the video, I want you all to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, which would help me with the YouTube algorithm by which I can reach to as many people as I can. Because every new information, every new authentic new information which you are receiving will help you raise your consciousness, will help you raise your vibration, will help with your DNA activation. So every new information will indeed help you with raising your own consciousness, your own vibrational level, will help you increase your own frequencies. So many people might be searching for right, authentic, correct information, but because there are so many people who are doing so many things on YouTube, they are teaching so many things, irrespective of how much knowledge they have or not, irrespective of if their own self are understanding it or not, irrespective of if they are experiencing it or not. So there are many people who are teaching so many things, but then every correct information might help somebody. So every correct information might change somebody else's life. So it's my sincere request for you to help me with the algorithm to reach to share this knowledge and information with as many people as you can, so that only if you resonate with it. Okay, I'm not asking you to forcefully do this. If you're resonating with the content which I'm providing, if you're resonating, if you're feeling that whatever I'm speaking is right, then share it with others. Okay, and try to understand it, try to implement these things in your life, because most of the things here, most of the content which I'm providing, I'm speaking with it out with because of my own experience or because of my own life lessons and learnings. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say, and now let's get into the video. Dark night of soul happens in cycles. Why I told this? Because everything in the universe, everything which was created in the universe always happens in cycles. It's not just you are experiencing a dark night of soul in a particular phase of your life and now you're done and dusted with it. It will not work like that, because dark night of soul also happens in cycles, and every dark night of soul will be very different from your previous dark night of souls. Okay, so if I want to give my own life experience, my first initial dark night of soul, which I termed as dark night of soul, the major dark night of soul which led to my own awakening and waking up, happened for 1.5 years. I already made a video on this in my previous in my previous content. I already talked about it in so many videos of mine. For example, I have talked about it in awakening and antidepressants video also. So my dark night of soul ended for 1.5 year, approximately 1.5 to 2 years, so from 2020 to 2021. So this was the initial phase where I suffered a very long dark night of soul, and I was learning so many things during that phase, and I was experiencing so much of crap, and I was experiencing so much extreme pain, extreme suffering, and whatnot. I experienced so many, it was just like my entire aura opened up for everything in the universe. The positive energies are coming in, the negative energies are coming in, somebody is attacking, some energy is attacking, some energy is protecting, and the family is back of me, and my friends are leaving, and I was leaving some people. My friends were leaving me. I was isolated from everybody else in the everybody else I know. I was completely in my taken to a kind of a cocoon which lasted for a long time, for so many years. I'll talk about that in my some other video. It's gonna take a long video again. So that what I'm saying is, it's not just the one time you are doing dark night of soul, one time you are doing shadow work and it's gone. No, it won't work like that. Every time you are experiencing a dark night of soul, it will be different from your previous dark night of soul, because the learnings now are different. The things which you have gathered from your first dark night of soul, by the way, if you are a star seed, you might resonate with this, because your life itself is a big dark night of soul. Yes, I have named this 1.5 to 2 years as a dark night of soul, but then since my childhood only, I was experiencing so many things around me. I was from through people or through my own life situations and circumstances, where I had to go through so much of pain and suffering and all those things, and it was somehow teaching me some the life lessons which I needed for my own life journey or ascension journey. So I always used to complain to God that why did I get this hell of a life which is filled with too much of suffering and pain and whatnot. But then why I'm in terming is a has a dark night of soul, which I experienced in 1.5 year or two, is because during that phase I completely got focused into it. I was trying to completely, everything else in my life was kept aside, and I was totally focused on that thing. I was made to only and only focus on that particular phase of my life, those particular problems, and I was trying to understand. I was made to understand this particular phase of my life which I was going through. Before it was kind of a initial stages of my awakening, and to this dark night of soul only I got awakened, so I was completely into it. So before my awakening I was experiencing the bits and pieces of that dark night of soul, but it was not completely dark night of soul. I was experiencing lows and highs, especially so many lows and very little highs, okay, in my life before my awakening. But then those things were necessary, those life lessons and those pain and suffering helped me to understand my own life, to help me to understand and discover myself as a star seed or a twin flame and all those things. But to help me understand myself, my own self, my own past karmas, my own past lives and all those things. But then where the phase where I completely focused on was a kind of a dark night of soul, and then it was a major dark night of soul. And then during that phase I already made one video on sound coach. You can go and watch that video. In that video I talked about particular songs which helped me heal during my dark night of soul phase. So they are particular songs, especially the Vedic songs which I heard during that dark night of soul. And when I used to listen to those songs, I never focused on this Vedic songs or the ancient Hindu gods and goddesses songs, and I never was bothered about these things. But then when I started listening to them, I understood that I know these people, these beings. I know these gods and goddesses internally. I had some connection with them before, but now when I started listening to the songs without any efforts, I started understanding these things, these Vedic songs or chants or all these hymns. I didn't know how I was doing these things, but I was understanding them very effortlessly. I was listening to them as if I have already heard them before, and it was helping me heal so much, so very much. I also will suggest you people to listen to them, some ancient chants or hymns and which are Vedic, which are authentic. Okay, don't go and listen to everything which you are getting on the internet. Okay, I have already suggested some songs, like you can listen to the Aigiri Nandini song, which is again a goddess Durga song. And this song, it helped me during my dark night of soul. I became so very weak, and I physically weak, mentally weak, emotionally weak, and everything on the planet was trying to make me weak. And I was myself in a situation that I was unable to get up and rise up from the things which are burying me down. Okay, so I was completely buried down in that pain and suffering and depression, that I was feeling very difficult to get up even. Okay, so I was feeling so very weak, and I used to sleep for hours and hours together, because of that depression and all these things. Then what I did is I grabbed my headphones and I started listening to these hymns and chants and songs. Okay, and when I started listening to these, things were getting more worse. Things were getting more worse, and I was facing so many difficulties again. I was I was thinking that, okay, I'm listening to these things, and why are things getting worse instead of getting better? I was in that kind of phase where I was listening to these things continuously, but then things were not getting better, things were not improving, instead they were getting even worse. So I didn't understand why these things are happening. So what I figured out is, when I was listening to all these things, it started clearing things off from my own self. I was all the shadows in my own body were coming to the surface, and these songs and hymns were helping the things to come out even more faster. So I was literally very pissed off, right? So I was complaining that, okay, Shiva, you are always a protector, and you do this, you do that, you are a most powerful god in Hinduism and all these things. And I was complaining to him that I am listening to your song and I'm crying more, I'm listening to your song and people are coming and fighting with me more. Why is this happening? What kind of a god are you? So I was blaming and complaining to him also. So what I understood is he was helping me. The Shiva in me, the goddess in me, the Durga in me was helping me to cleanse all these things out. So before getting into any kind of cleansing, okay, before you getting purified, the things will come out to the surface, the things will come out for the healing. So that's why the things were getting more worse than to get even more better. Before it could get better, the things, there's a lot of things going on, and there were too many things to handle for me. Why these things happen in your dark night of soul is because all the things, all the toxins in your physical body, in your mental body, in your emotional body are now telling you to heal themselves, are now coming to surface, so that you can address them, so that you can focus on them, so that you can understand that what things are coming to the surface, and so that you can heal all those things. In my initial stage of dark night of soul, I wasn't understanding all these things, but then as I told, dark night of soul happens in cycle. So initial phase of my dark night of soul was kind of thing like I was experiencing everything, but I was not understanding the exact thing that what was happening actually with me. Then my second dark night of soul came, and I was understanding it, I was experiencing it, and in my first dark night of soul, I was only experiencing things. I was just letting all these things happen. Even if I tried to focus and concentrate and trying to understand it, nothing went into my brain. I was just trying to heal, I was just trying to survive. I was completely in a survival mode during my first dark night of soul, because the biggest thing for me back then was just to survive, because it was too much, too many attacks, too many entity attacks, and all those things were happening, that during that dark night of soul I did not do anything but just to survive. Survival was my only motto then, because I was in a completely bad situation, that now I was going towards the deathbed. So I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to breathe, because it was so suffocating that even it became very difficult for me to breathe. It became difficult for me to get up and carry on my daily routines. So it was that difficult. So in my initial phases of dark night of soul, it was just the survival mode. And then the next dark night of soul came, and that dark night of soul, I was like, I already experienced one dark night of soul, and it was huge and major one. So now I have some experience. So now this is a kind of experienced kind of dark night of soul. And in this dark night of soul, I'm experiencing things also, and I'm understanding things also, because I already had my past experience. I know that I have to listen to these kind of songs, and it will help me in my cleansing and purifying. Yes, it will bring things to the surface, it will help me purge out, but I shouldn't fear listening to these songs, because I know initially these songs will do the things more worse than get things won't improve, but it will bring all these things to surface, but I will face it, because I have done it already. Yes, it will bring everything to the surface, but now in the second one, I was I had this attitude that yes, these songs are working. I know internally these songs are helping me heal. Internally there is some kind of healing work is going on, but it is so slow. It was because we are carrying so many things that it will take time. Healing doesn't happen so in jet speed. It will always take time, and you have to love yourself through all of this. You have to love yourself through all the dark night of souls, and you shouldn't hate yourself. In my first dark night of soul, I used to hate myself a lot. I had hatred for everything, for everybody, every people around me, every person around me. Even there is a lot of bitterness and hatred towards me, myself, and everybody on the planet, and even towards God. I was completely disconnected from the source. I was completely disconnected from the God. But then I was when that dark night of soul, that initial dark night of soul ended. I was trying to understand that yeah, I shouldn't get disconnected. I shouldn't develop this bitterness and hatred towards everything and everybody, and towards myself also, because this is not leading to anywhere. This is not just taking me to that dead bed. This is just taking me to death. Okay, so I shouldn't let my life force finish off. I shouldn't let my energy finish off. Okay, I should survive. And because that survival mode was on, because I wanted to survive, because even during that dark night of soul, that initial one, I was thinking about people only. I still remember that I was at my cousin's place, and he was like, I was telling him something that, okay, what if I die, and then I did not do so many things. I have studied so much, but I couldn't. I was professionally a doctor, and so I was telling him that, what is the purpose of studying so much when I couldn't help people. Even during that phase, I was thinking about people only. So I didn't know why I said him that, because when you are left with nothing, when you're zero, the real words come out, right? The real you will come out. So during that moment when I was conversating with him, so my real words, what was within me, what was internally within me, was coming out. So I told him something like, what's the purpose of studying so much when I cannot help people? So this was my own dialogue. So I did not understand why I told him this thing. So I did not understand. So why, even I was dying and I was thinking about people. Who are these people who I have to help? I did not know all of this. But then later, when I introspected it, when I integrated all these things, when I finished my dark night of soul, then I understood that yes, I have a bigger purpose than living my own life. I have a bigger purpose than just being a normal girl. I'm not a normal girl. I'm something different. So then I understood that with this dialogue. And when I told him this, he was like, even you are in this kind of situation and now you're thinking about helping others, first help yourself. He was telling something like this. And then I told him that what is the reason behind all this, if what is the use of studying all this, what is the use of having all this knowledge, because I'm even having this knowledge is not helping others. If I die, what will this knowledge will go with me only. I won't be able to help others with my knowledge. So I was telling something like this. So then I understood that I had a bigger purpose. I had something to do on this planet. I was not just a normal girl, and that's why everybody, all the kinds of energies are back of me. The good ones, the positive energies, and the negative energies. All the kinds of energies, all the universal energies, were trying to connect with me. So then I understood. Yes, something is going on. There's something fishy, and I whatever life I had led till now, that's not just enough. I have to know myself a little more. Who am I? There are so many questions which came up in my mind, that who am I? Why are these energies trying to connect with me? Why are these energies communicating with me? How I am understanding Shiva? How I am understanding Parvati? How I am understanding these divine energies? How I am understanding these songs? And all these kind of questions came in my mind, and I tried solving all these things, and I'm still solving so many questions in my mind. And every time I solve something, a new question arises. Every time I find answer to some question, a new question borns from that answer. So don't be afraid to ask questions. If you are in a confused state, if you are not understanding what to do and what not to do, just listen to some songs and watch something high vibrational. You can also watch YouTube videos, like some high vibrational YouTube videos. You can search for the information which you want to know answers for. Like, for example, for me, I was searching literally searching a lot about the awakening and all these stuffs, because I don't know spirituality at all till that point. So I was consciously searching for trying to understand things, trying to understand what was happening with me. So whatever I'm experiencing, I was searching it on in the internet, so that I might find some information might help me. So that's why I was consciously searching everything. I was trying to search for the information. I was trying to search answers for my own questions. I was trying to understand and search my own experiences. So I was going to every person, everybody, every temple, and every place, every blog and every YouTube channel has to so that I can understand what was going on with me. So if you have any questions, so you have to, if you want to find answers, there are only, there is only one option: go within. And I'm literally saying this because I have searched everywhere for my my own answers, but I did not get the right answer from any place or any blog or any YouTube channel or any temple, because all these things are temporary, all these things are clues to your puzzles, but they are not the puzzles themselves. So the original puzzle is within you. So the original, if you want to find answers, the original answer is within you. All the external things which are searching, I'm not saying that they are bad. You have to search, you have to put in efforts, but all these things are just clues to your puzzles. They are not the puzzles themselves. The original puzzle, you'll find it within only. So when your internal dialogue changes, when you hit that puzzle within you, you will start the clues outside. So I hope you are understanding what I'm talking about. So when you try to raise your consciousness, by the way, I was trying to meditate also during that phase. I was completely new to meditation, but I was doing it very naturally. So the meditation was happening by itself. I was not, I was not consciously going and sitting and meditating. It was just happening naturally. I didn't know how to meditate also. It is just happening naturally in my sleep. My breathing patterns are changing according to that meditation breath or whatever. I don't know exactly, but I was meditating but not meditating. It was something like that. I was naturally meditating. I didn't even know what is meditation is. During that phase, I did not consciously sit down to meditate, but it was happening naturally. And when the process happened naturally, when the kundalini awakening happened naturally, then I started finding clues outside also, and then I started finding clues in the external world also. Why I'm saying it as clues? Because I'm again and again repeating that everything which you see externally, be it movies or the synchronicities or everything, whatever, or the people who, somebody is coming and telling you some dialogue, and from that dialogue you are finding some answer. It is all, yes, they are giving you answers, but you are finding answers in the external form, but you will only find answers in the external form when you find the internal answers. Because even if you don't understand the internal dialogues, internal answers, your consciousness is changing. And when your light codes open up, when your soul knows the answers, when your soul reach to that level where it can find answers, it can grab answers, it can understand answers, then you will see that reflection, that hologram in the external universe also. And then you will find your conscious mind will find the external clues. Okay, the first internal clues you will find through your own soul, through your own unconscious mind. When your unconscious mind, when your superconscious mind reaches to the answers internally, then you will consciously manifest the external clues or external answers. So this was, and now this big video become very long, and I'll continue in the next video. So this was Dark Night of Soul. Dark Night of Soul happens in cycles. And thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel.